Assalamu alaikum students. So we will see our new chapter into the wild. This chapter is divided into two parts. It is written by Kiran Pundare, who was born in 1961. After completing his BCom, he studied environmental studies of Johnhill College of Education, Scotland. He is a recipient of the Sahitya Puraskar, Pune's Bhai Madhav Bagal Award and Best Literature Award given by Cultural Department of Maharashtra State for his Sakha Nagjira. He spent 400 days inside Nagjira and nearby forest areas and wrote this award-winning book. So mostly, see, as you know, he is about this writer. This you can see the picture. Kiran is very interested in natural life, and he has spent near about 400 days inside an forest which is in Akjira. And this expert has been taken from the same. He is a wildlife expert, a bird watcher, a writer, and honorary wildlife warden in Maharashtra. He is also the founder of Nisarga Ved organization, which works for nature conservation and community work around Nagjira, Navegaon, a tiger reserve in Bandara and Gondia districts. See, this writer is basically belongs to Maharashtra, and he has won many awards, and he is very much interested in animals and forests, and he spent 400 days in Nagjira forest, and he has written the book there. He also founded Kika's Bird Club in order to spread bird farming, which is very popular among school going children of Maharashtra. Now, see, the part 1 is dependent on, as its name suggests, the excerpts is an amazing experience of the writer where Kiran Bundare, the solitary traveler, is completely lost in the jungles of Umbarzara. He narrates how he lost his way at the fall of the dusk and terrifying turmoil he underwent thereafter. Shouting for help would literally mean crying in the wilderness. He also gives a detailed description of how he found his way towards the Pizzari. Now, see, the first part of this chapter deals with his journey and how he lost his way completely, and he was alone there and he was shouting for help, and how he found the way towards Pizzari. And part 2, which deals with, has been extracted from Sea and Traveller magazine published by Land Rover India. It is about Charles Jung, known for his wildlife photography. It briefs us about his entry into this world of wildlife photography, the sight that he received during this journey regarding the loss of the habitat of those heroes of the jungle, and the genuine efforts that he took by establishing BCRTI for the conservation of forest by educating the local rural folks and providing them with a sound, reliable source of income. So he helped the people of forest to not cut the trees and not interfere into the life of the animals, and have a better income source of income. Now we will see the chapter 1, what it talks about into the wild. The 8.5 hour long day inside the hide was fruitful as the jumba tree standing tall on the edge of Umbarzara. Now see, 8.5 hour long height was chupna. Like in here, the writer is talking about a place which is like a tent house is created for the person who is coming to see the trees or forest. He is there from 8.5 years. He is hiding himself, and when he came out, the jumba tree is standing tall on the edge of Umbarzara. Before wrapping up my day at this nature water hole, I took entries of the avifauna in my field notes. So when he came out of his tent and the temporary, you can see a temporary home, he came out and he is starting writing about the field notes. He started writing about avifauna. It's different types of birds. Since I was alone, I rushed to Pezzari village where I was stationed. Stations means where I was staying. Was staying in Pezzari village. I confiscated the hide, took my essentials, come out of the hide, and stretched out my heart's content. He stretched out मतलब अंगड़ाई लेना. मैं इतना बैठकर थक गया था. I lifted my camera bag and took the familiar trail to Pezzari, negotiating the webbed leaves of teakwood and moha trees, trying to make minimal sound. अब ये वहाँ से निकले और यहाँ पर उनको रास्ते में कौन सी ट्रीज़ मिली? मोहा ट्रीज़ और teakwood trees. And and remember one thing, he is in forest, and in forest there are lots of different types of trees which cannot be identified, and it is not easy to come out of the trees also, because you cannot see the sky also, that much the dense forest is. I was treading cautiously among the woods. Walking alone in a jungle needs more alertness than walking with a companion, because in jungle you need to be more and more careful, because there are lots of threats to your life, and threats of the animals, and even the trees are also very dangerous. I was alone here like a fox. As you know very well, the fox is very famous for his walk, and is very famous for its smartness. So I was alone, following the trail silently, watching with wide open eyes. My ears were gasping a variety of sounds just when a familiar sound stunned me. अभी मैं जा ही रहा था जंगल में, अलग अलग तरह के ट्रीज़ थे, मैंने नोट्स भी बना लिए थे और मैंने अपना बैग ले लिया था, कैमरा बैग मेरे साथ था. तो मुझे अचानक से क्या होने लगा, एक फैमिलियर साउंड्स आने लगे, कैक 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 कैक, लाइक दैट साउंड्स. इट वाज लंगूर्स अलार्म क्लॉक. The leader of the gang of langurs was sitting on the tall tree making alarm calls. Now see, the langurs were making the alarm calls from here. Out of the fear for life, rest of the langurs brigade continued raising the alarm calls, and others also calling continuously because they are fearing for life. There is some danger coming to them. The network of alarm calls was expanding its range as the petrified langurs speeded to the trees near and far. और इतना ज़्यादा उनको डर हो गया था, they were petrified. Petrified means they are very much scared. बहुत डर चुके थे वो लोग, और वो लोग ज़ोर ज़ोर से चिल्लाने लगे थे लंगूर्स, और झाड़ों पे एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा रहे थे. Far and secured their places on tree tops. All this upheaval was created by only one animal's presence, a leopard. ये सब कुछ क्यों हो रहा था? सिर्फ एक upheaval means ये सब कुछ जो था, अचानक जो चेंज आ गया था, upheaval means अचानक चेंज, sudden change, is because of the presence of one animal, and that is leopard. Leopard था वहाँ पर. Many animals make alarm calls when they see a predator, tiger or leopard nearby. The langur is most reliable when it comes to finding clues about the presence of the apex predator in the jungle. Langurs क्या थे? They are very famous to understand the predator. Predator में शिकारी करने के लिए, जो जानवर उनको खाने के लिए आने वाले थे शिकार के लिए, उनको लंगूर बहुत जल्दी पहचान लेते थे. About the presence of the apex predators in the jungle. Apex means क्योंकि वो टॉप पे रहते हैं लंगूर्स, इसलिए वो जल्दी से पहचान लेते हैं. The mighty elusive leopard of Umbarzara was out of its lair. Umbarzara का जो लेपर्ड था, Umbarzara is the name of the jungle, वो क्या हो गया था? अपने लेयर से, लेयर मीन्स डेन, जहाँ पर वो रहते हैं वहाँ से वो वापस आ गया था. Elusive means which is very difficult to catch. The stealthily moving figure in spotted gold black cloth was spied by these langurs. Even the small ones from the legion of langurs were given alarm calls. ये जो था, the steal, he was on the prowl यानी अब वो शिकार के लिए वॉक कर रहा था. कौन? leopard. The stealthily यानी कि आराम से, carefully was watching here and there, and he was spotted gold black clock was spied up these langurs. वो langurs को भी देख रहा था. I will stop here. Okay, tomorrow we will continue.